violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
North Miami Beach, where a mother is accused of murdering her 3-year-old daughter.
Dang.
Have 4 kids with me, so I'm so really scared.
That's a neighbor reacting to the news. The 23-year-old mother is the one who called police around 2:30 this morning, admitting to stabbing the girl to death.
Wow. So at least this super single mother gremlin on demon time turned herself in and admitted to her wrongdoing. But this is absolutely insane. This is not what you're supposed to do as a mother. This is not what nurturing and caretaking looks like at all. And it's crazy that you have these sisters who are just crashing out and deleting their children when we all know that they may have practiced parental alienation to keep that same child away from the father.
In the living room of their apartment. Police haven't yet released a motive.
A very sad story to report. A murder investigation involving a child underway right now in North Miami Beach. CBS 4's Terry Hornstein is live on the scene. And what are police telling you this morning?
Yeah, this is absolutely heartbreaking. Police did confirm to us a young child is dead here. That victim's mother is now in custody. A very active scene here. This is in North Miami Beach. They are calling that mother a suspect at this point. You can see investigators on the scene. They've been out here for hours at this point. Let's take you to some video here. It appears this happened inside a 3rd floor apartment. You can see a yellow tarp covering the door there. But we have seen crime scene investigators walking around the scene on foot here, taking pictures of really everything, cars, the ground, trying to preserve everything they can before the rain washes it away. The entire area also surrounding the scene is blocked off at this point. But again, they are focusing on a 3rd floor apartment here, a yellow tarp over that door. And police with North Miami Beach, unfortunately, have confirmed a young child is dead. That victim's mother is in custody.
Oh, man. I mean, how many times are we going to see this in the community? And a lot of times we like to say, oh, this is a glider crime. This is what they do. And that couldn't be further from the truth, man. Couldn't be further from the truth. We have infanticide running rampant in the community. These super single mother gremlins are on demon time.
They say she is going to be taken in. She will be booked as soon as we know her identity or any more details about what led up to this just devastating, tragic crime. Of course, we'll bring that to you. We're live for you this morning in North Miami Beach. Terry Hornstein, CBS 4 This Morning.
A developing story out of North Miami Beach. Police now say a mother is in custody after she stabbed and killed her 3-year-old daughter. CBS 4's Chelsea Jones is live near the scene with new detail this afternoon. Chelsea?
Yeah, Maribel, we've learned that this happened at 2 a.m. this morning, according to police. And we've also learned that the mom actually made the call to 911 herself, saying that she stabbed her daughter. Now, as you can imagine, this has been an active scene all morning. I want you to get a look at this news.
And this is self-snitching 101 as well. you know, I'm actually glad that she called the police on herself, and it's almost like she had instant realization that what she just had done was, um, you know, deplorable, repugnant. All right. And she was probably disgusted with herself. And this is kind of how I'm seeing it. The baby was probably crying. She couldn't get the baby to be quiet. And she, you know, is not a fit mother. So she got fed up and deleted her own child. Okay. Um, it's absolutely crazy. But you have these people advocating for late term abortions, and you know, she missed the deadline by you know, 3.5 years. But you would even have some people justifying this behavior. I've definitely seen it.
Time as it remains that way, you can see police and cruisers on scene still investigating what took place here. But now I want to show you some video from earlier this morning. You can see yellow tarp covering the third floor apartment where police say this all happened. Investigators say that 3-year-old child was stabbed multiple times in a unit here at 1051 Northeast 163rd Street. And once crews got here, they tried what they could to save that little girl, but unfortunately, she succumbed to her injuries. Now, a portion of the road, like you just saw, surrounding this building has been blocked off by that crime scene tape as police continue to piece together what happened. And we spoke to a local business owner who says she's worked here for 2 years and has never seen anything like this.
I have 4 kids with me, so I'm so really scared. We have a woman like the same that you need to looking for help. Don't do the other kids.
And as you can imagine, a lot of details still unclear at this time, but we are waiting to learn more from police. Right now, like you mentioned, that mother is in custody. And as we gather more details surrounding this horrific event, we'll bring that to you. For now, we're live in North Miami Beach. I'm Chelsea Jones, CBS 4 News.
Or at home, a mother accused of doing the unthinkable, killing her young daughter.
Let's get right out to CBS 4's Chelsea Jones, live now in North Miami Beach for us. And Chelsea,
Shawnee on the left, she called.
we now know the identity of that mother.
Yeah, we do. And this is just a all around sad story. So I spoke to a mother of 4 earlier today. She says in her 2 years of working nearby, she's never seen anything like this happen here. And police say that Jaleesa Baxter, prior to this horrific event, had no criminal history within the department. Just after 2 Tuesday morning, a crime scene roped off by police tape and a yellow tarp. North Miami Beach police say they were called to an apartment here at 1051 Northeast 163rd Street after a mom called 911 saying she stabbed her daughter.
Don't do the other kids. Don't do that. Always is a new life. Always is new future. More a woman. I'm so sorry for the family.
Police are identifying the mother as 24-year-old Jaleesa Baxter.
So you see Jaleesa Baxter. She cracked under the pressure of being a single mother, it looks like. And this is what I'll say. It is difficult to be a single parent, but at the end of the day, if you can't take care of that child, give the child up to the father. Give the child up. Her pride, in my opinion, would not allow her to give that child up to the father or somebody else in the family at least. And she went the selfish way out and deleted the child. This woman is disgusting. And then they will have their kids on social media like she's doing in this selfie, flexing like, oh, it's just me and my baby girl, us against the world, da 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 da, and then go and, you know, have a bad day where they're PMSing and delete their child.
They say when they got to the scene, she was sitting in the living room in a white robe next to a dead body. Arrest documents show Baxter tried to strangle the child first.
And she looked way different. She looked way different than what she looked like in these pictures. But think about this. She tries to strangle the child. She doesn't have the grip strength to strangle the child. And then she resorts to stabbing that child. I mean, it's unspeakable, man.
Documents show Baxter tried to strangle the child first. This is video from the scene showing the moments the medical examiner drove away from the crime scene. And these are pictures from Jaleesa's Instagram where she has identified a child as her daughter, and we're choosing not to show her face at this time. Messages she wrote on the account say how much she loved her daughter. On another post just 1 week ago,
how does that make sense? I told you they be flexing with their kids on the gram, then they delete them next day.
She said how 2022 had been a rough year for her.
2022 was a rough year. I mean, it was a rough year for a lot of people, not just you, Jaleesa. And it was an even rougher year for your daughter. And we're going to get to her Instagram as well. We're going to get to her Instagram because I want to break this joint down because I'm not saying that you could see signs of dysfunction, but you know, it's just, you got to pay attention to these things. She says 2022 recap. It was a rough year, but still I had some beautiful memories. These ones are crazy. And I'm actually looking at her Instagram right now, and she's like 5,300 followers on Instagram. She's a fitness influencer, it looks like. You know, she's trying to perpetrate like she's just having a blast. And people are still in her comments. Nobody's shaming her for deleting her child in the comments. Ooh, man, this is crazy. This is crazy, y'all.
I have 4 kids with me, so I'm so really scared.
Baxter is being held without bond. She is charged with first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. And right now, a motive has not been made clear by police. We've also been waiting to hear back from DCF to see if there's any history there as well. For now, we're live in North Miami Beach. I'm Chelsea Jones, CBS 4 News.
Right now, a disturbing story in North Miami Beach. A mother accused of stabbing her young daughter this morning, killing her. The scene is at an apartment complex on Northeast 163rd Street.
And police say the woman admitted to the crime. Local 10's Leanne Wadajon is live with the latest developments.
You know, this is one of those stories that just turns your stomach as a parent, even more so. A mother accused of killing her own daughter. And in documents just obtained by Local 10 within the last hour, we've learned that this mother first tried to strangle the child. And when that didn't work, she pulled out a knife.
Wow.
A mother is now in custody, accused of doing the unthinkable to her own daughter. 24-year-old Jaleesa Baxter is charged with first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse.
Stabbing police is allowed.
North Miami Beach police rushed to this apartment on the 1000 block of Northeast 163rd Street around 2 a.m. Tuesday, after that mother allegedly made a chilling admission to a 911 dispatcher.
She stabbing her 3-year-old daughter?
Police say the child, just 3 years old, had been stabbed to death by her own mother inside the apartment. Documents say the girl had wounds to her chest, neck, and face, and that a knife was located next to the victim's body.
Chest, neck, and face. This woman is evil.
Our cameras captured the front door flanked by officers and covered by a yellow sheet.
Es horrible la noticia, ¿verdad? Porque es una niña de 3 años, como es. Triste.
Police say Baxter was taken into custody without further incident. A possible motive remains unclear. Records show Baxter was served an eviction notice earlier this month.
Oh my God, I have 4 kids.
So she was served an eviction. Guys, what did we do? What did we say? I broke this video down, which I think ended up getting me a community guideline strike, which I appealed and won the appeal because everything that I stated in this live was factual. I went live 2 months ago and the topic was Black women are the most educated, but leading Americans in evictions make it make sense. Guys, go back and watch that video where I broke it down. She got that eviction notice, and because she couldn't pay her bills, she decided to delete her child. and they keep praising single motherhood and you can do it all by yourself. No, ma'am. You need a man, and you need to choose the right man.
This woman says she has a message for other mothers who might be struggling.
When you have a problem, you need to looking for help. Don't do the other kids. Don't do that.
Jalissa Baxter is expected to appear before a bond court judge tomorrow, but based on the charges she's facing, she will be held without bond.
Thank God.
Reporting live here in North Miami Beach, Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all done with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
All right, guys. So we are on Jalissa's Instagram. Okay. Stay up off my Instagram, your temptation. So this is her Instagram. She trying to, perpetrate like she's a fitness influencer and whatnot. And I want to do some history. So I want to go back to her very first post on IG and see her journey and maybe get some insight into where she started and where she ended up and how she may have gotten there. So let's scroll down to the bottom of her IG. Man, it's just so crazy because she's all into the fitness. She's all into this. She's making it seem like, oh, I'm a strong, independent Black woman entrepreneur and da-da-da-da. And guys, what you see on the surface is not always glitz and glam, man. Everybody has ups and downs. That's no excuse to take out your child or delete your child or harm your child or take out your anger on your child. But a lot of people are trying to fake it to make it. So let's go through. So it looks like she was originally overweight. Okay. And this was when she was in the Bronx, New York. So I'm guessing that she left her baby daddy in the Bronx. And she's working to work out, getting on the treadmill. So you see she was working to get in shape. 2018. Guess what? Once she got the body that she wanted, she started going out more. So she got in shape. She lost a lot of weight, as you guys can see. And she's trying to inspire people. Wow, look how dedicated this woman was to her weight loss journey, all to end up getting pregnant and deleting her child. So as you can see, we're progressing. She still lives in New York City, in the Bronx, and boom, guess what? Baby bump, 2019. Now she's pregnant. And she, in the caption, it says, making the decision to have a baby is momentous. It is to decide forever to have your heart go walking around outside your body. And it's just, this post is just haunting now. And everybody's saying, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Well, congratulations. And then guess what? My question is always, where is the baby daddy? Who is the baby daddy? So as you can see, her pregnancy bump got bigger, the baby bump. And the beautiful little girl was born. And somebody 34 minutes ago said, you deleted her. So they're calling her out on her BS. And her caption was, this beautiful little girl warms my heart every day. And now, you know, she's posting and flexing her daughter and, you know, detailing her fitness journey, a lot of flexing with the daughter, a lot of flexing with the child. Look at these hashtags: Black Girl Magic, da 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 da, beautiful black girls. This is why we got to go through the Instagram. We're going to go all the way. We're going to come from 2018 to current time. So as you can see, she did the big chop at one point of her life, in her life. She did have a quick snapback. And this one was an inspirational post that she says, 6 months from now, I will be in a better position. I'm claiming that. Ooh, this did not age well. This did not age well. So as you can see, she was really focused on fitness, and she ended up working for a really good body, honestly. Like, I'll give her props, credit where credit is due. She did a lot of good work when it comes to her shape. But man, I mean, the fact that she deleted her daughter, this is a favorable picture here, right? Showing the booty, as you can see. So she's out with the daughter as well, you know, doing yoga, trying to make it seem like she's spiritual and philosophical, and she's just like some type of, you know, woman with her third eye open and into fitness and is a vegan and all this other goofy. Like, dude, these women be faking like hell on social media. Look, posting picture of her child again, trying to use her child for the clout, using the child for likes. Bell bottoms. I mean, her body looks good. Can't take that away from her. She worked for it. She ate right. She did the snapback after pregnancy. And she's still in New York, late 2020. Okay. Still in New York, late 2020. And New York got expensive, honey. And this is a really good picture of her lower body and her abs showing. I mean, she's got a big old ass, you know, and big thighs, big legs. She's got an attractive body, but now she's finna go in the pen for the rest of her natural born life. Jesus Christ, man. So she was really into fitness, and she's not ugly. So, you know, well, I mean, I'm not going to say she's not ugly. She's not cute either, but I mean, her body is, I give her body a 6, 7. The face is like a 3, 4. But at the end of the day, you really don't need much. She could have found a man. She could have found a big stepdaddy. Somebody was willing to take care of them damn kids, man. And it's a damn shame that she went and deleted herself. Or not deleted herself, deleted her child. Look at the beautiful baby. Okay. And she was cooking good too. I don't know where she was getting all this money for the shrimp in New York.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. All right. So Woo! We have a very deep topic again today. I mean, this stuff is never ending. If it ain't one thing, it's the next. The community is going absolute ape shit. And that's just a fact. We, as a community, the Black community, it's gotten to a point where it's out of control. It really is. Okay. And anybody with eyes can see that and would admit, hey, man, we've gone too far. And the reason why I do my channel is because I don't want us to get to the point of no return. Right? I think that it's dangerous territory if we continue to allow the leadership to go in the way that it is going. Okay. And this leadership that I am speaking of, they don't really care about the community. All right. And they're not looking to better the community in any way. And we continue to put people in power who don't have good intentions for us. So with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic, the main discussion. We have a mother and a daughter who butchered the grandmother with a chainsaw, then grilled. Yes, I mean, you heard me right. Grilled her remains. This is deeper than Dahmer. Okay. This is on a whole nother level. This is above Ed Gein. This, guys, right here is a whole nother level of sickness. And the reason why is because it's family. It's family. And I told you guys before how the community does not respect its elders. We don't. And that lack of respect has led to a homicidal epidemic within the Black community. I mean, I've done stories within the past week, maybe even this week, if I'm not mistaken, or last week, of Black men attacking, murdering, stabbing to death over 40 times a 63-year-old brother. We don't respect our elders. So a lot of people think this story that I'm about to put out is fake. They think I'm making it up. They think that I'm not telling the truth. They think that this is unfathomable. Well, in Prince George's County, it's not. And this is the same county, might I add, that the brother stabbed the 63-year-old Black man over 40 times in. This is the same county. Okay? The same exact county. So let's listen up, because I'm not making this shit up, bro. Hey, hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal. This channel is completely officially demonetized. YouTube just said that they pulled my partner program. I will not be able to, become a partner with YouTube. And that's fine. If they don't want me, they don't want me. I'm putting out this content. I'm putting out this message for a greater cause. I'm doing this to spread awareness. But I would greatly appreciate you guys' support. Also, you can go into the link in the bio, grab the merch. Okay, cop the merch on your way in, on your way out. Rock some BGZM News 17 gear. Get the message out there. Support alternative media, because I mean there aren't many of us out here, and I mean the social media oligarchs, they are doing whatever they can to limit the exposure of these videos. So let's get into it.
A woman in Prince George's County is behind bars tonight, accused of killing her own mother. Investigators say 44-year-old
Chico.
Candace Craig murdered 71-year-old Margaret Craig last week. They found the woman's remains during a welfare check yesterday at a home on Hill Road in Landover Hills. Candace's daughter, 19-year-old Celia Hardy, is also facing charges for allegedly helping hide her grandmother's body.
And the daughter helped hide her grandmother's body. You know, back in the day, you know, our grandparents, they used to read us bedtime stories. Okay? They used to read us bedtime stories. Now they're being murdered by the grandchildren and the children. I mean, this is ridiculous. The woman who raised you. And I'm not saying that some of these sisters cannot be evil to their children, because it happens. Just like the story that we just, the preview story, which, you know, you guys need to go back and watch the full video if you want to check that out. I mean, these sisters can be cruel to their kids. And the cruelty can even go as far as deleting their children. There was just a story that came out of a woman who was caught shoplifting, and her car burned on fire, set on fire, whatever. They're saying that the children were playing with a lighter, which, you know, makes sense, but the neglect is still there. Neglecting your children to shoplift, I mean, that's wild. And when they saw the vehicle engulfed in flames, they ran away from it. Didn't even try to save their own children or her own children. And she was with a man, okay, a Pookie and Ray Ray, a thug maxed alpha simp, if you will. Thug maxed alpha simp. Remember these terms. She was with a thug maxed alpha simp. And a lot of these thug maxed alpha simps, when they get involved with these single mothers, they bring abuse into the household. This is not just me making this stuff up. This is data, okay? You are increasing the likelihood of abuse in your home if you're a single mother bringing in another man who is not kin by 43%. Okay? So this is what's going on in the community. We do have a lot of toxic parenting situations that are, you know, and everybody has, you can't choose your parents, and everybody, you know, has family issues, right? But what's going on in community, it's a whole different level.
Fair check yesterday at a home on Hill Road in Landover Hills. Candace's daughter, 19-year-old Celia Hardy, is also facing charges for allegedly helping hide her grandmother's body. Police are still working to determine a motive and cause of death.
So let's get into some more details of this story. That was just a preview. And I want you guys to, you know, truly understand that we don't do this content to, you know, obviously we like to make some lighthearted jokes here and there, but we don't do this content to, you know, I mean, we're just trying to get the message out there, honestly. That's really what I can say. That's the ultimate motive. So this, I mean, if you got a squeamish stomach, if you are not prepared for this intensity, this level of violence, then hold your head. All right. Hold your head. Maybe mute it. Wait for us to get done with this story, because we'll get into others. But this one, you know, is different.
But first tonight at 8:30, two women, a mother and daughter, accused of killing their grandmother, remain in jail. It's a gruesome story. One Arcady Barlow heard in court today. She's in Landover with the details.
This house behind me on Hill Road in Hyattsville, Maryland, is where 44-year-old Candace Craig is accused of murdering her mother and then recruiting her daughter, Celia Hardy, to help her dismember the body and burn it. Candace Craig is facing first-degree murder charges, while her daughter is facing charges for being an accessory after the fact.
And how the fuck do you mentally chainsaw your grandmother up? I mean, how can you even go through that physical motion? Was it drugs? Was it just a lack of emotion and empathy? We're told that these women are empathetic and nurturers. Like, this is crazy. These women are not empathetic. These women are not nurturers. These are super sister gremlins on demon time.
Today, a judge in Prince George's County said both women must remain behind bars for now. They're a threat to the safety of the community.
So just the thought of people who are in your lineage, people who are supposed to be carrying on your legacy, being a part of your demise is almost unbelievable.
The assistant state's attorney said that this is one of the worst murders she has seen during her time in office. Police say they were called for a welfare check by a witness who speaks regularly to 71-year-old Margaret Craig, and said they hadn't heard from her in days.
And I mean, just let's go back and look at the mugshots. They want us to cuff this. They want the brothers to just, because she black, yeah, you know, wife her up. She got a kid, become the stepdaddy. Okay? That's what they want us to do. And I'm sitting here like, how is that even possible? Like, shorty right here, she looked like Diddy Kong. This one, she kind of looked like one of them fish. What's that shit called? Grouper. She looked like a little grouper. Shorty right here definitely looked like Diddy Kong, though. I mean, no cap.
Heard from her in days. Police searched the house and say they found human remains on trash bags, along with blood splatter in the basement and more human remains on a chainsaw. Prosecutors say the two women dismembered the body, then tried to burn it on a grill behind the house.
Wow. Wow. Shout out to John Pro. He says grandma didn't just get invited to the cookout. She was the cookout. And that's why I always said getting invited to the cookout is overrated. If I might add. Getting invited to the cookout is overrated. The cookout that's going to get shot up. Y'all mean that cookout? The cookout that, you know, niggas is going to get to fighting over a spades game at? That cookout? The cookout that you going to grill your grandma at? These ain't hot dogs. This ain't bratwurst. I mean, this is real deal grandmama meal. I mean, it's that simple. Man, these sisters are on a different level. The whole way different level. It's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, you have to be a monster.
Something was kind of suspicious because Memorial Day, they had their grill further down from the house. From the house. Usually have their barbecues close to the house. That kind of got suspicious. I didn't see nobody at the grill, nobody bringing anything out to the grill. So I didn't pay much more attention to it.
They had one of those a barrel type grills.
Yes.
And they had the charcoal sitting beside, and then they had like a little table with the umbrellas.
The grandmother is still
damn. I mean, can we give them credit for not eating her, consuming her remains? I mean, can we give them credit for that? I don't know.
Technically a missing persons case. The DNA that was collected here at the crime scene is being analyzed as we speak, and the two women are set for their next court date in July in Prince George's County.
Wow, and that just, I mean, it makes you shiver. It makes you shiver. Ooh. Man, I mean, guys, what are we supposed to do with this? What are we supposed to do with this? See, and I got to go on a tirade right quick. They talk about all this female solidarity. You shouldn't do this to a woman. But what are y'all doing to each other? Okay? Y'all got more beef than the bros. At this point, to delete your own grandmother and throw her on the grill like she was Sunday dinner. Man, you cannot make this stuff up. Yo, the community outdoes themselves every single day. It's not a day that goes by that I don't say, damn, I've never heard. I mean, in the community, it's 1,000 ways. It's more than 1,000 ways to die. 10,000, 100,000 ways to die. You can get chopped up in this bitch. You can get shot by a straight bullet. You can get hit with a 30-round drum. You can get hit with an extendo clip. You can get stabbed with a sword 48 plus times. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, it's just dangerous to be in the community. It really is. And they wonder why brothers don't go back to the hood. And the brothers who do go back to the hood, they don't last long. Look at Nipsey Hussle. Look at P&B Rock.
In one Prince George's County neighborhood after a 71-year-old woman was killed in Landover, Maryland. Investigators say the two family members are now charged in her murder. Dave Laval joins us live from the scene along Hill Road. Dave, the shocking part of this is it appears the victim knew the suspects quite well.
Jesus.
Good evening, Ben. And yeah, people who knew Margaret Craig told me off camera she was a nice lady and would take time out to talk to you if she saw you.
So the community is saying that she was a nice woman. So, I mean, I think it's safe to say to rule out she was just like being horrible to the children. And although, you know, you never know how people get when they in their own house with their own family. But it seems like they were the problem. Okay? Because a lot of people going to be like, what grandma do? What does she say? I just want to diffuse that right now. This woman is a victim. Okay? She's a victim. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These hoes killed their grandmother and burned her in a grill. That's unforgivable.
They're now stunned and shocked to hear the people accused of Craig's death are her daughter and granddaughter. Prince George's County Police believe 44-year-old Candace Craig killed her mother, 71-year-old Margaret Craig, back on May 23rd.
Guys, like the video, share the video. We got to get the views up. We got to get the likes up, man. YouTube is doing a number. Last time we had 70 people in this bitch. Now we got half that. Like the video, share the video, guys.
The following day, her daughter, 19-year-old Celia Hardy, is said to have helped her mother try to get rid of the remains. Officers responded to Craig's home along Hill Road Friday for a welfare check. Police said they received a 911 call from someone who had not.
Oh, shit. Lagging.
Who had not.
All right, let me refresh the page really quickly. Oof, man. Shout out to I don't know if you want your name out there, but my guy, Deshaun. Shout out to my guy. He sent the $10 Cash App. So that was a real, that was some real stuff, bro. Shout out to Deshaun. I appreciate the $10 Cash App, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that. We need more of that, guys. Take the $10 challenge. One up, Deshaun. We gotta get something going, because like eventually I want to start running ads and getting my videos more exposure, because it's just not fair. And I'm not against paying to play. You dig what I'm saying? But shit, when I tell you I ain't got it, I ain't fucking got it. Okay? I ain't got it. I don't got it to pay to play. You feel me? I'm just like doing the exposure off the muscle, off the strength, off of, you know, posting on different platforms.
From someone who had not heard from Craig for several days. Investigators told us Candace Craig answered the door and allowed the officers in the home. They smelled something decomposing when they went to the basement.
Wow, and these women are retarded. They just let the officers in the home. I'll be like, come back with a warrant. At least give me time to clean it up. I mean, if you want to get away with it, then at least give yourself time to clean it up, right? They didn't give a fuck.
And found the remains. Craig is charged with first and second-degree murder, while Hardy is charged with accessory after the fact. Both remain in the custody of the Corrections Department. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner is working to confirm the victim's identity, along with the cause of death. Investigators are still trying to determine a motive. Neighbors told us they never saw any problems with the family. Police ask you call them if you have any information, or you may call Crime Solvers if you wish to remain anonymous. We're live in Landover. Dave Laval, TC News Now.
And isn't that even scarier that neighbors said they never saw any problems with the family? And then, so this could completely just be random, not random in the sense of the victim and the suspect knowing each other, but random in the sense of just one day she just fucking snapped. One day she just said, fuck it, I'm gonna kill grandma. Boy, I mean, it's some evil bitches in the community, bro. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. And you don't even know. You don't know the half of it. You don't know the half of it. You don't know. It's some evil ninjas too.
Well, we have new details this afternoon about a gruesome murder in Prince George's County. A woman allegedly killed and dismembered by her daughter and granddaughter. It's a case that is stopping everyone in their tracks, and as Lex Juarez explains, it's posing a challenge for investigators too.
Well, the details get more and more disturbing. Police believe that the murder happened on May 23rd, that following weekend.
Shout out to Georgia with the $10 PayPal. I appreciate that.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
She sends the $10 PayPal and says, cheers.
Memorial Day weekend. Neighbors tell me that they saw Craig and Hardy prepping this grill with charcoal and lighter fluid. Those neighbors were headed out of town for the holiday weekend and assumed the family was having a cookout.
Wow.
According to court documents obtained by WTOP, it was 71-year-old Margaret Craig's dismembered body that was put on the grill that day. Her 44-year-old daughter, Candace Craig, and 19-year-old granddaughter, Celia Hardy, were trying to hide her murder. Investigators believe Candace Craig killed Margaret Craig by herself and that Hardy later joined her in dismembering Craig
Wow.
at her home in Landover and storing the decomposing remains in the basement.
So mama had the stomach to kill her own mother, and then her daughter said, Ma, you ain't built for this. Let me get the chainsaw. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, guys. Y'all know how YouTube it just glitched out on me. It just glitched out on me. Are we still good? In the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I just went on a whole monologue, but honestly, I kind of forgot because YouTube. But yeah, we got some evil hoes in the community, and they are these sisters are deleting their own grandmothers. So at this point, shit, bro, I'm at a loss for words.
Police visited the home last Friday for a welfare check on Craig nearly 2 weeks after the alleged murder. When her daughter Candace let them in, they quickly smelled and found the remains in the basement. This horrific attempt.
And this how nasty a lot of these hoes are too. Living with that smell. How can you do that? and then knowing that it's your own grandma, you know, going through rigor mortis, decomposing in your home after you've mutilated her body. I mean, probably stripped her naked. How can you go through with that? How could you go through with that?
Attempt at hiding the remains poses a challenge for the medical examiner, who has yet to confirm the cause of death or that the remains are Margaret Craig.
Wow.
In this case, which is unlike any case I have ever seen or experienced here in the county. I mean, to say it's disturbing is an understatement. It's horrifying.
But I mean, does she really look that concerned though? They're not as angry as if, you know, a glider cop would have shot a brother, or a Karen would have profiled a brother or a sister. I mean, they're just not angry enough. There's just not enough outrage. Like we spoke about in the mass shooting we just covered in Virginia. There's just not enough. And I mean, the DMV has been active. So if you in the DMV, shout out, you know, let me know in the chat if you're from the DMV, but there is not enough outrage. Why aren't we mad? Why is she kind of giving a little smirk? I got you there, sis. You're not going to get one past me. I see you smiling. You think this shit is funny, don't you? I swear deep down, she probably think it's a little, I mean, I don't know. She just doesn't seem angry enough to me.
Well, Candace Craig is charged with first-degree murder. Her daughter, Celia Hardy, is facing an accessory charge for assisting in the dismemberment. Well, both Craig and Hardy are being held without bond. The next court date set for the preliminary hearing is July 3rd. In Landover, Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Wow, man. Yeah, man, these sisters, wicked, wicked, wicked. Woo. And how are we going to overcome something like this, you know, as a community? It's just going to get swept under the rug. It's just going to get swept under the rug.
Georges County.
The horrific scene involved a chainsaw. It happened last Friday in Landover, Maryland. A mother and daughter are charged in connection with the killing of a 71-year-old grandmother. We want to warn you, the details are disturbing and they are not suitable for children.
News 4's Darcy Spencer has the very latest.
Police say 71-year-old Margaret Craig died at the hands of her own family. The details laid out in charging documents are gruesome. Candace Craig, the victim's daughter, is accused of murder. Craig's teenage daughter, Celia Hardy, the victim's 19-year-old granddaughter, is accused of helping to cover up the crime. Police say the victim's remains were found in trash bags in the basement.
Shout out to Idris with the $10 Cash App. He says, for putting out the news, keep anonymous, please. Okay, my bad, iDog. But
Oh, say basement. Investigators say the mother and daughter dismembered the victim with a
by the way, that was Idris Elba. Okay, Idris Elba, guys.
chainsaw and allegedly attempted to burn her remains on a grill in a fire behind the home.
I just think it was so horrifying that it defies belief for me.
Police went to the home on.
But does it really, though? We're talking about the community here. The only thing that threw me off is that they grilled grandmama instead of frying her. I think if they would have, you know, coated her with some, you know, some of that old school batter, the already seasoned batter, and, you know, threw her in a deep fryer. It's got to be a big ass deep fryer, but I think they probably would have been able to get away with it. I think they probably would have been able to get away with it if they fried her instead of grilled her. The grill was just too much, bringing it outside, all that stuff. You got to get the deep fryer in the basement right next to the chimney. That's the only way to do it. Kentucky Fried Grandma. These super sister gremlins are on demon time.
Hill Road in the Landover area Friday afternoon after a relative reported the victim missing. Police say Candace Craig opened the door and allowed officers inside. Police say those
That bitch
officers smelled
stupid.
the odor of decomposition when they went into the basement. Hardy allegedly told police that on May 23rd, her mom attacked the victim after the victim threatened to report Craig for fraudulent use of her credit card.
Wow. There you have it. There you have it. The daughter was stealing from grandma. You stealing from grandma? You stealing her Social Security? You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You stealing from grandma? Come on, man. Come on, sus. Taking a credit card, buying apps on the Apple store. I thought we were grown. I thought we were older than that. Right? I thought these hoes had their own money. I thought they were independent, strong. Don't need no man. Don't need nobody for nothing. And you still dependent on your mama. As a matter of fact, you stealing from her. And she probably, get this, she probably had been helped her out and cut her ass off. Like, baby, I done helped you. I done raised your own kid. She probably raised that little girl. The little girl who helped dismember her. She probably raised that girl. Mama didn't. Mama can't even. Mama has to steal from grandma to keep up with whatever she got going on. You know she ain't got shit going on. Some of y'all just need to let y'all cheering go, honey. Y'all need to let y'all cheering go. Because there ain't no way you are a grandmother. You done had a child. And then your child got you taking care of her child. She done got her up out the house or through high school graduation, or maybe she dropped out, whatever. There ain't no reason why grandma's still responsible financially for them cheering. Okay? That bitch is sick for killing her grandma over a credit card. And y'all be like, why you gotta call her a bitch though? That's how the sisters be in the comments. Why you gotta call her a bitch? Shout out to CC with the $15 Cash App. She says, let's see, keep doing what you do. Great job.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, man. I mean, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Shout out to Ryan Becker. He says Black Gen Z is the only community YouTuber whose videos I don't hear a smoke detector on. Yeah. You won't hear that damn smoke detector alarm in my crib, you know what I'm saying? Once I hear that shit, boom, I'm switching the battery immediately. It's about responsibility, guys. It's the little things. It's the little things. Okay? It's the little things. Keeping your house up. Keeping the sink empty of dishes. We all know we struggle with it. But if you do that, then you can complete another task, and you complete another task. And you can complete another task and continue to be productive. Your space isn't cluttered. You can't think straight when your space is cluttered. I mean, and if we went inside of that house, even before they grill grandma, if we went inside that house, I guarantee you it was not in good condition. I guarantee you it was junk everywhere, trash everywhere, dirty ass carpet, bathtub ain't been scrubbed in ages. Grandma can't keep up with that house. Let's keep it a buck. She can't. It's impossible. She's too old. She ain't got time. She probably got somebody else cutting the grass. And then you stealing out of her credit card when she got to pay for the grass to get cut because your ass ain't doing it. Wow, man, the entitlement's crazy.
The next day, according to charging documents, Hardy discovered her grandmother's remains in a blue bin in her bedroom.
It's a shame. Very sad. Very sad. And she did not deserve that.
Candace Craig charged with first and second degree murder. Her daughter, Celia Hardy, charged with being an accessory after the fact. Prosecutors say due to the condition of Craig's remains, it will be a challenge to determine exactly how she died.
Wow. So let's go back to her picture. Look like a sweet old lady. Look like a sweet old lady. Shout out to Bryant McCarter. He comes with a good one-liner. He said, "Old Gray Ma could have been Old Bay Ma." Okay, so he's referring to the spice, Old Bay, I believe, right? Or the is it flour or spice? One of those. Ryan Becker says, "Call your grandmas tonight, fellas." Yeah, man. I had to call my grandma tonight, man, and just be like, "Look, I love you, grandma. I would never throw you on the grill. We got hamburger meat for that."
A challenge to determine exactly how she died.
Say it's disturbing is an understatement. It's horrifying.
According to those charging documents, Craig was murdered 10 days before her remains were found. Now, the mother and daughter are both maintaining their innocence. They were ordered held without bond during court appearances here today. In Upper Marlboro, Darcy Spencer, News 4.
Wow, man. This is what the Black community is producing nowadays, man, and we got to shed a light on it. A lot of people say, "Oh, why are you talking about our people? Why are you talking about?" Look, man, because if I don't do it, nobody else is gonna do it, and these things are important. These topics are important. Like, how does it get to the point where you're so angry that you delete your own mother after being in the wrong and stealing from her? Of course she has a right to be upset, right? Of course she has a right to be upset. You stole from her own daughter. Okay?
Take you out to Prince George's County in Maryland. Of course, we're following a story there, and I want to put a tweet from our Fox 5 team as the Maryland mother and daughter have been charged in the murder of 71-year-old grandmother. Police say they found human remains in a trash bags in the basement and a chainsaw. They both appeared in a Prince George's County courtroom this afternoon at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. Of course, following this very closely here on Live Now from Fox, as authorities say a mother and her daughter have been charged in connection with murdering the family's grandmother. Police have charged 44-year-old Candace Craig with first and second degree murder. Her 19-year-old daughter is also charged with accessory after the fact. Let's take you out to some remarks here, live, raw, unfiltered, on Live Now from Fox.
Yeah, what can you say as far as what happened at the hearing today? No bond status. I missed part of it. Was it said that all of the victim and the two defendants lived all together?
So the victim and we believe that the victim and the two defendants were all connected to the house in some way. Obviously, they were all related. And today, the two defendants were held without bond in this case.
And do we know how she actually died at this point?
At this point, that is still under investigation. The ME is involved, and hopefully we'll have a cause of death shortly.
Is that something that can be determined with a body that mutilated, or is that
with the extent of the injuries, with the dismemberment, it is going to be very difficult. I think that the ME's office will do their best to give us a cause and manner of death. But in this case, which is unlike any case I have ever seen or experienced here in the county, say it's disturbing is an understatement. It's horrifying. The allegations contained in the statement of charges is just heartbreaking. One of the things that
I wanted to mention is that this is Elder Abuse Awareness Month.
Oh my God, she did not just say elder. Ain't it Pride Month too? Y'all need to stop like overlapping the months. Either it's Pride Month or it's Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Because we need to focus on one thing at a time. And sorry, LDHTV movement, but this comes first. Let's talk about the elders who are abused and brutalized and victimized in the community before we talk about that gay shit. How about that? Okay, that's what we need to be focusing on, not this LGBT bullshit.
It's important, I think, to note in this case that someone related to our victim was concerned enough about her whereabouts that they reached out to do a welfare check. And the Prince George's County Police Department is a wonderful resource, as well as all of our municipal departments.
And Prince George's County, they were definitely begging to defund the police. They were. I've got stories on it. And now they are seeing the ramifications of just the police kind of withdrawing, especially after that the pandemic, when they were forcing the jab. It's crazy.
Departments, they do these welfare checks because of someone caring enough to reach out, because our department was doing its job. We uncovered a horrific crime. And so our job now is to ensure that our victim gets justice, and that is what we're going to do. Jess Garth, who's the chief of our Special Victims and Family Violence Unit, I'm going to ask her to come up and talk a little bit about, some of the facts as we provided in court today for those of you who weren't there. So, Jess.
Good afternoon. As the state's attorney said, somebody did come forward and contacted the police department and asked the police to do a welfare check. At the time that the officer arrived at the home, they were allowed to enter the home by one of the residents. In the basement, they uncovered the putrefying remains of the decedent in this case. They locked down the scene. They went and got a search warrant. And what they uncovered was, as the state's attorney said, one of the most disturbing crimes I think that this county has seen, at least, in recent times. It looks like there was some sort of a disagreement between Ms. Craig and her mother, the decedent. Sounds like at that time she opted to take the life of her mother. And then after that, she and her daughter dismembered the body, we believe using a chainsaw, and then attempted to dispose of the parts of the body using fire on a grill and in a bonfire, according to the investigation so far. This is a case that's still under investigation. We do anticipate that we'll have additional facts that we develop along the way. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Is there any guess as to how long she may have died before the police were called?
I don't know. There is some indication that the fire department was called out on May 27th to investigate one of the fires that was being used to dispose of the body parts. But further than that, I can't say.
So at least almost like a week, I guess.
Yes.
Then, obviously, we've kind of gotten to recognize you a little bit because you've been involved with some pretty gruesome cases.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, some pretty unfortunate stuff. And up there, you kind of talked about how this is one of the worst that you've ever seen.
Yes.
Just add a little more context out here.
Sure. Well, I talk a lot about domestic violence, and often it's in the context of intimate partner violence, but family violence is, just as much a part of domestic violence. And in many ways, we're talking about people who, they are supposed to be protecting one another, caring for one another. When you're talking about your elderly parents as they get older, it's our duty as children to protect our parents.
Yeah, but everything works in reverse in the community. So in many cases, we don't want to protect our parents. We resent our parents. And look, a lot of people will tell you in the community that they didn't even go to their own parents' funeral because of the abuse that a lot of young men and women are suffering in the community. They don't feel any type of attachment to their parents. And, I'm not talking about discipline abuse. I'm talking about legit, just cruel abuse towards a child that was unplanned or resembles the baby daddy. These things happen more often than not. And there are a lot of children who are being victimized by these single mothers because, they're frustrated with their situation in life, and they're frustrated that they don't have a man to help them raise that kid, and they're frustrated that they're living check to check. And that's just what it is. That's the point of time that we've come to.
It's certainly our duty to not murder them and then to dispose of them in such a gruesome way. When I think about this case, I think about how hard it is to actually dismember a human body. I mean, some people have difficulty, even cooking food, dealing with things like raw chicken. And when you're thinking about a body and then burning it, it just it's very hard for me to think about, especially when you're talking about somebody who gave birth to you, who raised you. So yeah.
It's safe to say you may never know how it
Hi, smiling too. You see that smirk? Damn, these hoes don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
exactly she was killed.
As the state's attorney said, our medical examiner's office is going to do everything that they can do. It is possible that some of the evidence was destroyed, that we may need to determine the exact, way that she was taken from us. But I think it's safe to say that this case will be ruled a homicide.
Update on the knife that was on the floor and then was missing when the police went back.
I don't have any particular details. I do know a search warrant was executed. They collected many different tools, and they'll be tested for DNA and for blood as well.
And we heard from Jess in court, but Madam State's Attorney, is this the most gruesome murder that you've seen in your time?
I mean, absolutely. On so many different levels. The fact that this was a mother, I don't believe I've had a case where a mother was killed by a daughter. And I certainly don't believe I've ever seen a case where a mother was not only killed by her daughter, but dismembered by her daughter and her granddaughter. So just the thought of people who are in your lineage, people who are supposed to be carrying on your legacy, being a part of your demise is almost unbelievable.
And guys, this story will unfortunately be swept under the rug. It just doesn't fit the narrative. Okay? And most people have never and will never hear of this story. So the 36 of you people who are watching right now, or the people who are going to watch the playback, do with what you will with this information, but just understand that we got a problem in the community, and it's been danced around and it's been deflected, and people don't want to attribute any accountability to these personal decisions that are being made on an individual basis that overall negatively represents and affects the community as a whole. We got to do better. I mean, there's no reason why our numbers are looking the way that they're looking. The numbers are bad, y'all. Numbers are bad, man. And disproportionately bad compared to other demographics. And I know people don't want to be represented by a statistic, but ultimately, that's what you become if you don't speak up about this stuff. That's what you become if you contribute to the culture that we have now. You become a statistic. You become the person who condones and enables. We got a sister in Baltimore. Her 17-year-old son was shooting up the block. She said, it ain't my responsibility to know where he at. We'll get to that one too.
And then not only but the death, but the dismemberment of the body being found in multiple bags, decaying in a home. I'm at a loss.
Were these slightly different subject? Can I just ask one more? Were these like trash bags, gym bags, like?
The information I have is that they were plastic bags, but I don't know the size at this time.
Some sort of trash bag type thing.
I would imagine.
Mm.
And was this home the grandmother's home?
Yes.
Baby K. Let's dig on it a little more.
Yeah,
That
sure.
He was on probation potentially at the time of the alleged attack on the bus thing in the district. Not registered in any school anywhere. It's also been determined. Should DJS have been supervising this child? The child is on probation. Should someone have been making sure he was kind of in school and living life?
You know, because
failure with DJS.
knew you were gonna ask that question. I think it's.
Let's run that back.
Life.
You know,
yes, have been not registered a little more.
Yeah.
Baby K. Let's dig on it a little more.
Yeah, sure.
He was on probation potentially at the time of the alleged attack on the bus thing in the district.
We're talking about a whole nother case.
School anywhere, it's also been determined. Should DJS have been supervising this child? The child is on probation. Should someone have been making sure he was kind of in school and living life?
You know, because
failure with DJS.
Knew you were gonna ask that question. I think it's fair to say I've had a number of conversations with DJS, and as late as Friday, I've been in contact with the new Secretary of Juvenile Services. I think that DJS is, in many cases, overwhelmed, just like other agencies, especially public safety agencies. But we all have to do better because our young people have to be in school. Those who are on probation actually have to be supervised. And if they are supposed to be participating in programs, then they have to be accountable for participating in those programs. I think that there's a lot of work to be done at DJS. I think that, and I've spoken to the governor personally about it, and he's committed to looking at resources that we need to add to our.
I'm sorry, but I just don't believe it.
Department of Juvenile Services to ensure that the services that they do provide are actually meaningful to the people who they serve. A lot of the services are really controlled at the state level, but those of us on the ground know what our kids need, and if we could get more of those resources locally, I think we can make a better impact and have programs that will better meet the needs of our young people. But we have to hold them accountable. Oftentimes, what I hear is that DJS has done all that they could do for a child. Whether or not that child is successful in completing the program offered by DJS, then they will just discharge them, partially because of the new laws and the limitations on the amount of time that a child can be under the supervision of the Department of Juvenile Services. So I think in many ways, everyone has, I don't want to say failed, but everyone has probably gotten it wrong a little bit. So our state legislature, we're asking them to rethink and relook at some of the laws, especially the laws that speak to punishment or sanctions that a child can experience. Certainly rehabilitation is the goal of the juvenile justice system. And so we don't want to over-incarcerate kids, but some of our kids need more supervision, more structure, and some of them need to be confined for a period of time.
Yeah, they need to be locked up, and they mamas need to be locked up too. How about that? How about that? Lock they damn trifling mamas up until the words echo in your brain. Sisters, come get your kids.
And they actually have to show improvement. They just can't be discharged because the program timing has run out. You know, that's just not fair to the child. It's not fair to the community either. So there's a lot of work that we need to do. And DJS, I believe the new secretary knows that he has a lot of changes to make. So Thanks. Thank you.
You're just listening into this press conference there out of Prince George's County. Certainly a disturbing, a horrifying story that was their quote there of this, as the mother and daughter charged with murder in the death of their grandparents. I want to put up the mugshots one more time here on Live Now from Fox and give you a little bit more detail on what we know from this. Of course, they were held there without bond as the 44-year-old Candace Craig with first degree, and her daughter also, Celia Hardy, charged with accessory after the fact. As authorities say, a mother and daughter have been charged in connection with murdering the family's grandmother inside their home. Officials, they believe Craig murdered the mother, Margaret Craig, on the 23rd of May inside their home in Landover, Maryland. Investigators say the following day, her daughter helped her mother attempt to dispose of the remains. Certainly very disgusting, horrifying details there. Officers were called to the home on the afternoon of June the 2nd for a welfare check on the grandmother and were allowed to search inside. Homicide and evidence units were notified and assumed the investigation after officers smelled the odor of decomposition. So certainly a very disturbing story there out of Maryland, as the mom and daughter there charged in murder of that grandmother.
All right, guys. So the story that they were talking about is about this young man called Baby K. So we'll look into that one as well. 15-year-old boy. This dude he tried to kill a middle schooler on the bus. He was a rapper, looks like. I might just save that one for one of my premieres, honestly, because it's a lot of information. And or maybe I'll just do a whole new live on it tomorrow. How about that? Yeah, I'll just go live on it because I don't really have time to like make the individual videos anymore. I do like doing it, but I'm probably just gonna go live more because I get a little bit more support on my lives than I do on the premieres. But just to put a button on this story about the grilled grandma. This was a post 2 years ago from Candace Craig, the murderer, about her mother. She goes, and I quote, "Happy Mother's Day to the #1 woman in my life. I hope you have an awesome and peaceful day. I don't get to say this every day, but I love you very much to the moon and back. Also want to wish every mother and mom like woman out there a happy Mother's Day." Okay. So very haunting post. And that takes us into our second topic tonight, where we will be covering the super single mother gremlins on Demon Time.
We're coming to the end of Memorial Day weekend. The holiday weekend is historically violent in Baltimore City. This one was no different.
5 people were shot in the past 3 days. One of the victims died. This was also the first weekend of the city-enforced youth curfew.
And that comes as city council members prepare to hold budget hearings in the week ahead with a major focus on public safety.
So they have implemented a youth curfew in Baltimore, guys. So just be aware. They implemented a new curfew. So they think that this is going to work. What they don't understand is super gremlins don't abide by rules.
Fox 45's Vincent Hill has a closer look at the violent crime Baltimore City saw this weekend.
Our team coverage starts with Jeff Abel and the letters one group of city council members sent to public safety agencies ahead of this week's hearings.
Well, council members are laying the groundwork for what could become a week of very contentious budget hearings. But tonight, there are questions whether all that talk will result in any real action.
In every corner of the city, there are growing concerns that this summer will become another violent summer.
Obviously, Costello is worried about crime. Everybody is worried about crime.
City Councilman Eric Costello is laying out his demands in letters to the city's crime-fighting agencies, the police department, the sheriff's department, the state's attorney's office, and the mayor's office for neighborhood safety and engagement. The agencies are slated to lay out their proposed budgets before council members next week. And in the letter to the police commissioner, the councilman acknowledges the department's severe staffing shortages, but writes, while shortages are certainly a problem, we cannot allow them to be an excuse. In a letter to Monzi Director Shante Jackson, the councilman demanded a short-term plan for the summer crime fight, writing, "We need immediate and effective implementation of short-term strategies to enable the continued progress toward these long-term solutions. Appropriate levels of funding and staffing have already been put in place to accomplish this goal." The councilman then demands details of how the agency is spending $50 million in COVID relief funds, how much the agency is spending on staff, how the agency oversees the funding it receives from grants, and how the $1 million it receives to enforce the city's curfew is being spent.
When you look at Monzi's spending, you really need to look at if it's working. And if we don't know where the money is going, if we only have these number identifiers and we don't know exactly who Monzi is paying and engaging with, we don't know.
At budget hearings last year, council members made similar demands.
I'm absolutely disgusted with the state of public safety in this city.
What the people is saying to me, councilman, we need things done immediately.
But y'all voted for this. I mean, this is why people just start not caring about black issues, because y'all literally asked for all this stuff. I was covering Baltimore in 2020, 2021, 2022, and now 2023. And just like every other major city, y'all were asking to defund the police. Don't lie. Don't act like you weren't. Don't try. You can't do that with me, baby. You can't do that with me. Okay? It's crazy how you just see this total 180, and now the community is talking about we're concerned about crime, but you're not willing to do what it takes to get rid of this issue. Because I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna take. It's gonna take it's going to shout out to my guy. I forgot his name in the chat, but he always says in the comment section to sterilize violent idiots. So that's a solution that can be implemented immediately. It's going to take executing some of these 15, 17, 16-year-old kids. You didn't think of that one, did you? You ain't think I was going to say that, did you? Yeah, send some of these young niggas to death row. Stop doing the juvie shit. Like, some of these niggas got to go. Point blank. All right? So it's going to take that. It's going to take locking up some of these parents. All right? For neglect. A lot of these single mothers for neglecting their children. All right? So there are things that can be implemented. It's going to take talking to the police about crime, murders, specifically in your neighborhood, in the community. We're not willing to do that.
Taxpayer advocate David Williams fears the talk that's already buzzing this year may never produce any real action.
A lot of money is being spent, and now you have grandstanding by the city council, because what happens? What is the next step? We never see the next step in any of these problems and issues.
Agency directors are expected to appear before the City Council's Ways and Means Committee within the next 2 weeks. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
City Councilman Yitzi Schleifer is proposing a bill to keep better track of how nonprofits spend grant money coming from Baltimore City. The bill would require nonprofits to provide a report detailing how they are spending taxpayer dollars.
This bill is aimed at...
All right, so let's move on. So they put in a curfew in Baltimore. Let's see how the youth is receiving this curfew. And they even spent resources on a youth curfew van. Yay! A van that goes around the city of Baltimore and says, hey, black kids, time to go to bed. I know your mama ain't tell you. Now it's time for you to go to bed. Right? So they spent taxpayer dollars on a curfew van. Let's see if it works.
First on Fox, Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott responds to Fox 45 following a curfew van that was vandalized over the weekend in South Baltimore.
It is the first violent incident we have seen since the curfew went into effect 2 weeks ago.
Jeff Abel is live with the latest. First on Fox. Jeff?
Well, the mayor is insisting tonight there will be no changes in protocol, even after vandals shattered a window of a city van with volunteers inside.
We know that vandalism happens everywhere in this country every day.
Mayor Brandon Scott was downplaying today the vandalism of a youth curfew van that happened while youth curfew volunteers were inside.
And we know that things have happened to vehicles consistently across this world. But what we won't do is highlight the extreme.
It was a little before midnight Saturday night here on Denham Circle in Cherry Hill when a city van very similar to this one was vandalized and volunteers inside were forced to retreat. According to
How long until they jack the curfew van? How long until they fucking jack that bitch and take it for a joyride? What are your predictions? I'll give it about till next week.
Statement from the mayor's office at approximately 11:34 p.m. An engagement van was attempting to park and engage a group of young people when it was struck by an unidentified object that shattered the back window of the vehicle. Staff immediately followed protocol and notified their supervisor, who instructed them to return to the C.C. Jackson Recreation Center and debrief.
They were probably defending themselves from what they feared. Here
Huh?
you have some people trying to pick them up at night in a white van?
Huh? It's a city vehicle for one with government plates. And Kenji Scott, community activist. These goddamn community activists, man, they don't help for shit. They do not help for shit, guys. He's literally saying they were trying to defend themselves by vandalizing the bus. If they were trying to defend themselves, wouldn't they just run? Vandalism isn't well, when you're vandalizing something, you're not afraid of it. You sit there, you laugh, you try and inflict as much damage as possible, and you get your ass on before you get caught. If you ever TP'd a house, yeah, you don't want to get caught, but you're not necessarily afraid to go do that. You know what I'm saying? And you have black male leaders justifying the actions. Guys, with leaders like this, then yes, the no solutions mantra starts to feel more and more real, because this is who we just can't help it but put these types of niggas in leadership positions. We just can't help it but say these are our community activists and these are this is the voice of the street. We just can't help it.
Recreation Center and debrief.
They were probably defending themselves from what they feared.
Lord have mercy.
Here you have some people trying to pick them up at night in a white van?
The city's new curfew enforcement effort relies on volunteers, not police, to engage youth. The president of the police union insists it poses a high risk to volunteers.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? These are volunteers, not police. These are volunteers, not police. These people are going to be killed. These people are going to be killed, and it's going to be by the hands of a super teen gremlin on demon time. These are the violence interrupters they told us about. Local parents in the community wrangling up the kids and saying, get your behind inside. Get your behind inside, young super gremlin. Cut off, cut off the time period where you're about to make the most money selling heroin or selling, K2 or whatever the fuck you got on you. Because you're going to make most of your money when the fiends is fiending, when they wake up in the middle of the night. Them boys can't miss those peak hours. So no, they're not going to go inside. No, they're not going to go to bed because they have drugs to sell. They got pieces to get off. So, I mean, how long until one of these volunteers is deleted? Like I said, I give it about a week. Give it about a week.
To engage youth. The president of the police union insists it poses a high risk to volunteers, writing today that some of these juvenile curfew violators are in fact criminals. Some don't hesitate to violently engage with the police. Why would they hesitate to do the same with a volunteer?
What we have to do is not sensationalize things.
He's the one that sensationalized it when he came up with this idea of a curfew.
No one inside the van was injured when vandals shattered the rear window, but with summer now beginning, critics fear what else could happen next.
It puts kids at risk, it puts volunteers at risk, it put police at risk, and it has only exacerbated a bad situation and made it a catastrophe.
Guys, check out the poll. We do have a poll available for you guys to vote on right now. The poll asks, how long until the curfew van is jacked and a volunteer violence interrupter is killed? So vote on the poll. Our 4 options are tonight, tomorrow, next week, or next month. So make sure you go ahead and vote on that poll. Make sure you go ahead and let me know what you guys think about how long it will take before these curfew enforcer, violence interrupter, community activists, volunteers are robbed or killed.
Well, so far, no one has been arrested in connection with this incident. We're live tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
Jeff, thank you. New tonight, more young people caught up in crime. In Glen Burnie, 2 stolen vehicles identified. 4 teens too young to drive are arrested.
Damn. And we already got into a carjacking.
Keith Daniels with a neighbor who witnessed all the commotions and the call for accountability tonight. Keith?
Well, Mary, Anne Arundel County Police tell us those 4 teens, 3 girls and 1 boy, face several charges, including auto theft. And tonight, those arrests are raising a familiar issue. It all unfolded outside of the apartments on Juneberry Way near Shekels Road in Glen Burnie. Matthew Darden had just pulled up to his home when he saw and heard the commotion.
Thought it was my mom, so I had to my mom, so I rushed out see was my mom okay, but you know, she was good.
Several Anne Arundel County police officers had converged on the parking lot. According to police,
For one, guys,
Arundel County police officers had
you got, it looks like maybe possibly a school-age sister walking around in slippers. We see this often. She got the red Kool-Aid stain dyed weave, and she walking around in these slippers. This is what they wear to school. This is actually nasty. This is why y'all got so many damn corns on y'all feet. This is why y'all feet be stinking. Bro, you're not supposed to be wearing slippers out in public, bro. Come on.
converged on the parking lot. According to police, officers were checking the area at about 11:30 Tuesday night when they saw a 2016 Hyundai sedan parked halfway out of a parking spot. Officers say they saw 4 teenagers get out of the car, went into a home. Police discovered the car had been stolen. Another vehicle parked in another spot, they say, also stolen. Police arrested the teens, 2 of them 14 years old, 2 others 15. For Darden, the incident raising the issue once again over juvenile crime and holding young offenders accountable.
If you do the crime, you gotta do the time.
Law enforcement agents.
But you don't believe that, though. You just saying that because they got you on TV now and your mama almost got shot. You didn't believe that before this shit started happening, did you, bruh? My question is, who'd you vote for, brother?
Agencies in the area say there's been an uptick in juveniles involved in crime, including homicides and carjackings. News of the arrest of those teens suspected of auto theft in Anne Arundel County comes as Vincent.
Maybe I was too hard on him. I mean, we got to give brothers credit for at least, saying what's real. But damn, I mean, it's just like, to me, it's hard to believe that he genuinely believes that. just from what I've seen in the community. But, you know, shout out to that brother. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. That's my mistake.
And Giraldi,
Yeah, I can take accountability.
Secretary of the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services, hit the airwaves today on WBAL radio, talking about how he intends to hold juvenile offenders accountable.
I think that it needs to be some combination of what's been tried with this young person before and how serious their offense was. Some of it's data driven, but some of it's common sense. Like, you can't over and over and over let somebody keep messing up.
It's heartbreaking. It's unfortunate that they had to, you know, go down that road of dishonesty and thievery.
But did they have to go down that road? Fuck no, they didn't. They chose to go down that road. And this is what black men are missing. They think that somebody's forcing these guys to go down that road. And that's why I said I don't really think he believes in what he just said, because of that statement that he just made. It was full of fucking cope. It was full of cope. It's just sad that they had to chose to do. Bro, they didn't have to do none of this shit.
Keep messing up.
It's heartbreaking. It's unfortunate that they had to, you know, go down that road of dishonesty and thievery.
Well, Anne Arundel County Police and the Harford County Sheriff's Office have both been very vocal about the laws that they say make it difficult to hold juvenile offenders accountable. Meantime, Giraldi has said people as old as 25 years old should remain in juvenile court. Now, Fox 45 News sat down with Giraldi last month. You can see and hear a full interview about him standing by those comments. Just go to Fox Baltimore.
Hold on. Whoa. Run it back.
Sat down with Giraldi last month. You can see and hear a full interview. 25 years old, accountable. Meantime, Giraldi has said people as old as 25 years old should remain in juvenile court now.
Oh my God. No. So now they're trying to push juvenile court up to 25. Damn, guys. And they're going to justify that how? Well, your brain doesn't fully develop until 25. Okay, cool. But I mean, let's keep it a buck. What the fuck else are you missing? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I felt pretty damn grown. Shit. I mean, 21. I mean, that's pretty much the last milestone, right? You can buy alcohol. I was good by 21. Like, I mean, yeah, I've learned a lot, but it's not like I've gotten some new form of, you know, ethical or moral insight based off of growing 4 more years than I was when you know what I'm saying? It's just weird, man.
Now, Fox 45 News sat down with Giraldi last month. You can see and hear a full interview about him standing by those comments. Just go to foxbaltimore.com. We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Keith, thank you. Well, during the legislative session, hundreds of bills were passed and then signed by Governor Wes Moore, but not one to hold youth offenders accountable. Last week in Prince George's County, when a 15-year-old accused of trying to kill a student on a school bus was arrested, the state's attorney there said laws may need to change. Excuse me. And even I can't talk.
I'll pick that up, Mary.
Damn, her ass. She just got... the throat ghost just came and took her voice away. She can't even talk about these niggas. God damn, the victims of the super gremlins just snatched her voice away. Lord have mercy. Well, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to these unaccountable single mothers. We're gonna move on. I mean, the worst demographic. The most detrimental demographic in the country at this time are these unaccountable single mothers, because they are producing at a rapid rate and aborting at a rapid rate. I mean, they're producing just as fast as they're aborting, or aborting way faster than they're producing, right? Yes, that's what I meant to say. And it's still, and they're still producing bullshit. Like they're literally weeding out it's so crazy because if these women were like actually having abortions intelligently, and y'all know I'm, pro-life, but if they were having intelligent abortions, which, it is what it is, to say, okay, this nigga that I just fucked, I let him fuck, yes, but he's dumb as hell, and whatever. He wouldn't make good off. It wouldn't be good to, reproduce with him. Then maybe we could get some type of semblance of control on this thing. But these hoes, they're aborting the good niggas' babies, and then they're having the bum ass niggas' babies. Like, that's really what's going on, bruh. That's really what's going on. So, oh shit, Superman said, choke on your lies, bitch. He said that news anchor was a lying ass bitch. That's why she was joking. That's funny. But yeah, I mean they're aborting the good niggas babies, and then they're having children with the broke ain't shit babies. That's really what's going on.
Fox 45 News is hearing from the mother defending her 17-year-old son, who police say ran from them carrying a gun. Her son facing several charges after Baltimore police officers shot him earlier this month.
Woo!
Fox 45's Keith.
Damn, run it back.
Son, who police say ran. Fox 45 News is hearing from the mother defending her 17-year-old son, who police say ran from them carrying a gun. Her son facing several charges after Baltimore police officers shot him earlier this month.
As he should. Shouldn't be in possession of a gun. And they shot his ass, man. Because these little niggas are dangerous, and we all know that.
Fox 45's Keith Daniels spoke with the boy's mother. And Keith, what is she saying about these charges and her son's role in all of this?
Well, Kai, first off, the mother admits her son had a gun. Now, police say it was a stolen 9mm handgun. But tonight, her questions about the shooting and the charges that followed.
I'm grateful that he's still alive.
Oh my God, look at her damn body. What the fuck? Damn, this bitch look like her titties, stomach, and ass is pregnant. And the legs, the thighs ain't matching, honey. This bitch got I don't know, she got a reverse BBL. She said, put that shit in me wherever you can. She said, put that shit in me wherever you can. Take the fat and then just throw it back in. Just jumble it around and shake my ass up and see what I come out with. Lord.
Franklin is a mother.
I hope she's not pregnant. I hope she's not having another child, honey. I hope she ain't having no more cheering. Shit. Fuck. Woo. This is how dangerous that shit is, man. Niggas are fucking that. That's how bad we are down in the community, boy. Niggas are fucking that, dog.
Focused on the criminal charges against her son, 17-year-old Mekhi Franklin. The teen shot by a Baltimore police officer. The mother not understanding why it happened.
He never turned around. He never lift the gun up or raised it at the officer.
Franklin.
I love me. What a selfish bitch. This shit is crazy. Her shirt literally says, I love me. This bitch childish as fuck. Got Hello Kitty tats. Bitch, come on now.
Speaking out one day after prosecutors charged the teen with several charges, including first-degree assault and firearm offenses. The 17-year-old charged as an adult in a shooting caught on a police body-worn camera.
Stop! Put the gun down! Put the gun down!
The shooting happened in the Shipley neighborhood in southwest Baltimore, May 11th. 5 days later, investigators released the video. The officer and Mekhi in a foot chase after police say the officer thought Mekhi might be armed. At one point, circled.
Hold on. And look, this is a black officer. Look at his hand. This is a black officer running his ass down. Policing our own. Look at his hand. This is a black officer, y'all. I'll enlarge it so you guys can see. Here you go. So this brother is just trying to bring some semblance of control into the community by policing our own, being a father figure, being a role model. Okay? It's crazy, man. Take care of y'all kids before these niggas have to do it. That's really it. It's really it.
Circled in red, the gun is seen clearly in the video. Then the officer opens fire. The teen shot in the back, but survived.
My son wasn't supposed to be gunned down the way he was.
What about the fact that your son had a gun?
He had a gun because he was scared for his life. We live in Baltimore City.
The debate over the shooting still ongoing.
Oh, God. That nigga had a gun because he was finna go pop some ops. Fuck out of here, bitch. And you know it, too. She probably... and this is how sick these fucking single mothers are. These bitches be putting these niggas on hits, bro. They will literally say, you can't let that nigga do you like that. Da-da-da-da-da. You better go get that nigga. I'm telling you, they are putting these young niggas out there to go. They're like, y'all seen Power and then the whole Tyreek shit. Yeah, they like Mary J. Blige and that shit. Like, they're putting these young niggas up to this shit. Y'all keep thinking that these single mothers don't know what the fuck's going on. They don't know where their kids at. They know exactly where their kids at. When he spin a block, he goes spin a block. And then, you know, that nigga come back to a plate of fucking country fried ramen noodle and shit.
Going amid gun violence involving youth, raising questions for some over parent accountability, including Franklin's for her son.
I say lock that bitch up. Once she had a baby, take it, give it to CPS, put it in the foster care system.
I'm not accountable for what he has on him. That's not bad parenting. That's not the parent's fault. You know, how can you blame that on the parent? My son's 17 years old.
He's a minor. That's how you can blame it on a parent. And this is why I say, see, y'all keep saying, man, why you always on single mothers? Why you always on single mothers? Because they can't discipline their sons. She can't discipline her son, and she doesn't want to. I guarantee she has a friendly relationship with her son. She doesn't want to discipline him. She doesn't want to tell him what to do. He's been the man of the house since he was fucking 6 years old. Let me repeat. He's been the man of the house since he was 6 years old. She said, baby, you got to start bringing home the bacon, huh? You got to start contributing to this household, honey. That's why he's so knee deep in the streets. Okay? Because he had to live up to responsibilities that he shouldn't be living up to at a young age. And obviously, he's made some extremely wrong turns. And it could be a lost cause for him. He's lucky to have survived being shot by the police. So hopefully he learns from this situation and turns his life around. Now, is it likely? Probably not. You know, and it is bad for his street cred to have been shot by a police officer. Now, it could help him if he wanted to go the activist angle. I was shot by the police in the back. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just running away. They can't shoot you when you're running away, right? Like, he could go that route. I'm filing for $245 million. My name is Takarius, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? He could go that route. But she doesn't think she's responsible for his actions when it's her child. He's still a minor. He's still under your guardianship. But these women cannot, will not, do not want to, aren't interested in disciplining their own children. And this is what you have to understand. And this is why these super teen gremlins are on demon time.
You know, he's not a 5-year-old little kid. You feel me? So at the end of the day, there's only but so much I can do.
I told you. I was off by 1 year. I told you he's not a 5-year-old kid because that was the last time she had control of him. He became the man of the house at 6 years old. At 6 years old, she could no longer discipline him. He could beat her ass if he wanted to. That nigga was hanging out in the streets at 2 a.m. at 6. On the block with the 6 god. And then look at the attitude. Look at the apathy. It's not really much I can do. And then look at the nails. These bitches are fucking childish, bro. You got rainbow nails and you about 40 years old. You got hella shit kids, having more kids. She got a necklace with the dead homies on her shit. And then she got a bedazzled choker chain. She's completely, deeply ingrained in the streets. And this is what y'all don't understand. Y'all don't know how to identify a street bitch. That's what y'all fucking problem is. Y'all don't know how to identify a street bitch. Because y'all be talking, oh, well, she's a mother and she's this. No, this is a street bitch. This a real street bitch who be calling hits from the damn nail tech, from the nail salon. You know, she calling hits while she getting her hair did, honey. This is a real street bitch. That's what y'all ain't getting. That's why I'm not coming with the empathy. Oh, you talking to a woman like that? Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Look what she raised. And she's proud of it. That's what y'all don't get either. Y'all don't get shit about the community. Y'all don't fucking understand. So leave it to me to bring clarity to this situation. Leave it to Jen Quavius to clear the air on what's going on with these single mothers in the community. She takes pride that her little nigga's a real street nigga. And you best believe she want a fucking check. You best believe she want a fucking check. And the only thing stopping her from getting a check from these officers is, one, the color of the officer that shot her little baby's skin. It's the color of his skin. He's black. So it ain't a check. That's the only thing that stopped her from, you know, having a phone call with Al Sharpton, Ben Crump. That's the only thing that stopped her.
5-year-old little kid, you feel me? So at the end of the day, there's only but so much I can do.
And the bitch got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Well, Makai is out of the hospital. He's been moved to central booking at this hour, where he's waiting on a hearing that will decide whether or not his case be moved to juvenile court. We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Like, y'all really be thinking these hoes are mature because they got kids. Y'all literally think these bitches are mature because they have kids. They're more immature. They're damn near more immature after they have kids. A lot of them, especially if they're a single mother. Now, if they have a kid and the father is still in the home and the father is there to give them guidance and whatnot, then maybe, you know, they start maturing because they have that responsibility being, you know, implemented by the father. And the father, you know, if he's a good leader, which, you know, we lack that good leadership in our males in the community. Let's keep it a buck. But if he is a good leader, then he implements that discipline, not only in the woman, but in the children as well. And, you know, these types of women, when they have kids, they are not maturing. All they're doing is getting government checks. And like, y'all really think these single mothers are mature, and they're not, bro. And y'all think they know about mothering and parenting, and they're not. Y'all think they're fucking nurturers, and they're fucking not. Like, y'all, I don't know, bro.
The second weekend of a youth curfew is underway right now in Baltimore as juvenile crime concerns continue to circulate across the city. Fox 45's Keith Daniels looks into a mother's concerns after her son was shot by police. But we begin with Jeff Abel and the efforts to staff connection centers designed to keep Baltimore's children away from trouble. Jeff, what can you tell us?
And honestly, this little nigga, he might have needed to get his life taken. Because there's either two ways he can go about it, because you don't really get street cred from getting shot by the police. I'm going to tell you that. Like, they're gonna laugh you down and say the pigs got you. So you don't really get, if you got shot by another like super gremlin and then you live to tell the tale, yes, then you would get street cred, then you'll get respect. But this being shot by the police is only going to put a battery in his back. So much so that eventually down the line, once he gets out of YDC or what, you know, whatever they're calling it now, juvie, once he gets out of there, he might want revenge. Maybe not on that specific cop, but he might have a vengeance for police officers. So these are all factors that are playing. And, you know, this is the type of nigga to be driving in his baby mama's car with a suspended license and a suspended registration, get pulled over by the police. And the police officer, you know, pulls up, and then they have a little back and forth. He don't want to get out the car, and then the guy shoots the police officer. Like, this is the type of nigga that would do that. A guy who already has a history of police trauma, a guy who already, you know, is going through what they're going to call PTSD. He had PTSD because he got shot by the police. Now he's scared to get pulled over. But he's still in the wrong. He's still doing the wrong things that ended up getting him shot by the police. That's why, I mean, you can't even explain these things to the community, because they always gonna find a loophole.
Well, you know,
and if worse come to worse, they just gonna say, well, yo mama black. All right.
Curfew enforcement efforts are back on here in Fells Point tonight and in other areas of downtown here. And while police have long maintained it will be relieving the burden on city police tell us tonight a whole different story.
Hold on, guys. What the fuck did I tell you? Look at this bitch behind.
The burden.
Look at this bitch right here. If y'all can't see, zoom in. She's got slippers on. They're wearing slippers in public. House slippers. Bruh, this shit is just nasty, bro. And you gonna go take that back into the house and lay in bed with them. And they want us to cuff this.
On city police tell us tonight a whole different story.
This is not anything new. We're evolving the way that we enforce youth curfew.
It was last Friday, the first day of the city's new curfew enforcement effort, when the mayor vowed to put concerns to rest over the toll curfew enforcement will have on police.
I will be reaching out directly to the union and explaining and talking to them how about this is not the case. Again, we want to relieve them of something that has been their sole duty.
But the very next day, the president of the police union says the city canceled off days for 20 to 30 members of the police force, posting them downtown as backup for the curfew enforcement effort. In a statement, the president of the union writes, the depleted ranks of the BPD are already stretched to a breaking point. I guess the mayor and police commissioner want to test when the house of cards will collapse.
And this, unfortunately, is just another example of poor planning.
Attempts to find civilians willing to interact with curfew violators appears to be a tall task, too. In a high-importance alert email issued to city employees on Thursday, City Hall called it a challenge and asked for volunteers to work as late as 2 in the morning, monitoring children who break curfew. In an email...
Shout out to a Slow Flow Columbro. He says National Guard is needed. Yes, the National Guard is needed in every major Democratic city in the United States.
Oh, say less.
To the mayor's office today, we ask if the city was able to locate enough volunteers. If not, how will the city staff those positions? And will there be hands-on training and background checks for those who volunteer to monitor children? So far, no reply. But remember this promise.
I will be reaching out directly to the union.
That was 1 week ago.
I will be reaching out directly to the union and explaining.
So they're trying to hold bruh, you know, they're trying to hold bruh's feet to the fire. And yes, he's been a part of Baltimore's leadership, and he's done a lot of, dancing around the topic of black on black crime. But he is active. I will give him that. He's dealing with an impossible situation. How to get these niggas to act right. It's an impossible situation. He did have a bigger afro. The afro is gradually shrinking. And by the time he leaves office, I predict that he will only have a beard left. That will be the only hair on his face or head after this stressful job.
And talk to them how about this is not the case.
Tonight, the union says it's still waiting on the call.
We also did ask the City Hall today about the impact this is having on police. So far yet, no reply. We're live in Fells Point tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
Jeff, thank you. The mayor's office says the summer youth engagement strategy as a whole has a budgeted price tag of more than $1 million. Overtime for city employees could add to that price tag. Critics say the city is taking a big chance with taxpayer dollars since there's no guarantee that Baltimore's children will spend time at these connection centers. So that brings us to our question of the day. Do you believe the city is prepared to enforce the youth curfew all summer long? So far, 93% of people who voted say no. Go to foxbaltimore.com.
Wow, they have no confidence in the city. Wow. How do these people keep getting voted in, though, elected in, if y'all have no confidence that they can get anything done, let alone something as simple as implementing a fucking curfew for, kids?
.com/vote to weigh in.
He had a gun because he was scared for his life. We live in Baltimore City.
Well, a stunning admission from a Baltimore mother whose 17-year-old son was shot by police, saying he needs to have a gun to protect himself. Fox 45's Keith Daniels joins us live with her concerns and why some argue she shouldn't have let her son put himself in danger. Keith?
Well, Maxine, as you can imagine, whenever a juvenile is involved in a crime, oftentimes a concerned mother is also involved. And tonight, a closer look at that parental involvement. Tiara Franklin is a Baltimore City mother, reigniting the debate this week over parent accountability when a child is accused of a crime.
Stop! Put the gun down! Put the gun down!
Franklin's son, 17-year-old Mekhi Franklin, shot by a Baltimore police officer 3 weeks ago, now facing charges including first-degree assault, shot during a foot chase, police say, while he was holding a stolen 9mm hand.
So you see, he has the extendo clip and what appears to be rubber bands wrapped around the handle of the gun. And that is, it could be to control the recoil. It also could be to mask fingerprints. But I'm pretty sure that he used it to control the recoil, because when you have those extendo clips on those firearms, it kicks back and that extendo leaps up or it leaps forward when you shoot the weapon or the firearm, because the barrel of the gun's going up. That extendo extends out. And I mean, it's just for it makes for an uncomfortable shoot, if you will. And you know how skinny these little niggas are. They be sagging, they be skinny. They can't really handle the power of a firearm. And a lot of these niggas never really have shot a firearm until they actually do. So that's what we got going on out here in these streets. These little niggas are not dumb, okay? They're not stupid. I mean, they are stupid, but they're also not stupid. They know what they're doing is what I'm saying. They're not mentally ill, right? They're not retarded, but they are retarded. They go stupid. They go and turn to super gremlins on demon time, but they know exactly what they're doing.
And gun. His mother speaking out this week about the shooting, but also confronted with questions about her responsibility, her accountability.
Yeah, how am I accountable for what he has on him? That's not bad parenting. That's not the parent's fault.
Let's keep it a buck. You're a bad fucking parent. I mean, nobody thinks that you're a good parent at this point. You got chains all over your neck. You got tattoos all over your body. You're overweight like a motherfucker. You're justifying the actions of your wicked son. These super sister single mother gremlins are on demon time.
How can you blame that on the parent?
But Reverend P.M. Smith, longtime pastor at Huber Memorial Church in
Get him, pastor.
And a former defense attorney, believes there is a level of accountability for parents when children do wrong.
You feeding, you're clothing them,
and
you don't know where they are. You don't know what they're bringing in the house. You don't know what they're carrying out of the house.
Get a pastor.
There is a situation where parents lack accountability because they're not handling their responsibility.
Now, hold on, pastor. Hold on, pastor. You preaching today, pastor. Lord have mercy. Shabalabala. Hold on, pastor. Are you going to throw that in your sermon, though? Are you going to throw that in your sermon? Because we know These sisters ain't listening to nothing unless it come out of pastor's mouth. And even if it come out pastor's mouth, they still giving it the side eye. Like, what the hell? Pastor on one today. He said, stop being a hoe. Honey, please. Pastor on one today. He said, look after your children. Honey, please. Pastor on one today. He talking about, women should be submitting to men and looking, to God through their man. Honey, please. Ooh, child, no. Absolutely not. Pastor is on one today, sis. I ain't putting nothing in the collection plate. No, Pastor. You ain't putting that in the sermon. Because it don't hit the same as, you are a strong, independent woman, and God has a plan for you. God is going to bring a man from the skies and drop one down in your lap and say, here, I'm here for you, and I'm going to take care of you and your children. I'm going to take care of that 17-year-old boy who keeps saying that he ain't my daddy, and I ain't his daddy. I'm going to keep taking care of him. You ain't throwing that in your sermon, Pastor. Okay? You're not. So don't let this just be lip service. I need to hear this. Prime time, 10 a.m. service, the 8 a.m. service, the 10 a.m. service, and the 12 p.m. service. I need to hear it, Reverend. Need to hear it. Otherwise, we don't believe you. You need more people. If you can't deliver the sermon, let the first lady deliver it. I know the women ain't supposed to be preaching in the church, Lord, but we got to have somebody to message it. Ask the deacons, ask the ushers, ask the, lead of the choir, ask the nigga on the organs. Somebody got to preach the damn message tonight. Am I preaching, y'all? Somebody give me an amen in this motherfucker.
As the juvenile crime rate continues to climb in Baltimore, many parents are desperately searching for a cure. Smith blames broken homes for much of the growing crime problem.
They always say everything starts in the home, which it does, but what does a home look like?
The hell? We got a black Corella DeVille?
You never know what's going on in their home.
My son's 17 years old. He's not a 5-year-old little kid. You feel me? So at the end of the day, there's only but so much I can do.
That may be true. But when you have a young person who is headed in the wrong direction, you ask, you seek, you demand, you get all the help you can.
And I'm going to tell you what, if you put this pastor in the room with that sister, she'll probably beat the shit out of him. Respectfully, Pastor, you know what I'm saying? I know you a man of God, so you wouldn't dare lay hands on a woman, but she would not take kindly to what he's saying. She would lay hands and feet on this reverend because these women, they're so masculine. They can't resolve issues or being fronted with accountability with, their verbal ability or cognitive ability. That woman will beat the shit out of you if you tell her that she's a bad mom. Damn, that was your 17-year-old son on the news? Damn, you're a shitty ass fucking mom. What, honey? What the fuck you say, bitch? Don't never talk about my parenting, honey. Y'all just seen Jocelyn Hernandez and Amber Rose get in a fight over, Amber Rose's racial identity. They got to fighting over Jocelyn saying that Amber Rose wanted to be a white girl so bad. So you can't critique these women. If you were to do this in her face, and I don't give a fuck if it was during church, if you called her out or even made a little innuendo in your sermon, not only she would get up and give you hell, but all the other single moms at the church will give you hell. And that's why, Christianity has been watered down when it comes to the church, because the single mothers are ruling the church. They're organizing the events. They're the ones who are, leading the choir. They're doing everything in the leadership positions when it comes to the church. And they're lenient on the laws. Let's just keep it a buck. They're not going to follow all the rules because the rules of the Bible make them feel bad. The realities of what the word says makes them feel bad. That's the reality. That condemnation, that fire and brimstone. See, preachers don't preach that fire and brimstone no more. They don't preach that old Southern Baptist fire and brimstone no more. They don't preach the fear doctrine anymore. And maybe we need some of that. Maybe we need some more of that fear doctrine. Okay? Something's got to give.
Whether it's an uncle, whether it's a stepfather, whether it's a grandfather, whether it's juvenile services, you get all the help you can.
Well, regarding Mekhi Franklin, he's out of the hospital. He's out of the hospital, rather, and he's been moved to central booking. He's waiting there for a hearing that could decide whether or not his case is moved to juvenile court. We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
And they already trying to give the little nigga out. Woo, this is wild. It definitely feels like no solutions, guys. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. This was prime time content. One of my better performances recently. I'm cooking. I'm heating up, guys. I'm only going to get better. I'm only going to get wittier. I'm only going to get quicker with the jokes. And I'm only going to get, more real with the commentary. So if you want that real sauce about what's going on in the community and with these super gremlins on Demon Time, make sure you hit that subscription button. If you're new, hit the subscription button and the notification bell because we are completely shadow banned and demonetized on this channel. YouTube does not want me to get 1 view, let alone 49. So I do appreciate every viewer in this Mickey Ficky here because, you guys are what keep me motivated to do this because I would have been stopped, honestly. Like, at this point, I could just throw in the towel and say, oh, it's not my fucking problem. But, I do enjoy this content. I love engaging with you guys. And I do genuinely want to seek out a solution. It just appears that what we know is going to work is not going to work with the community, and it's not going to be agreed upon with the community because it will be presented in a way that it is, white supremacy, racism, and systematic oppression, all that stuff. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Jinquavius Jackson, aka Black Gen Z Mindset, aka BGZM News 17, and we are going to give it to Jinquavius Jackson to take us away. Guys, I appreciate you. Hey, make sure you leave a comment. Leave 2, 3, 4 comments. Have a long ass discussion in the comment section. I don't care. Leave a comment that helps the algorithm a lot. Okay. So leave a comment, share the video, do what you can to get the message out there because y'all already know, shadow ban, demonetized. YouTube allows murderers to continue to have their music streamed on this platform, even when they're talking about people that they murdered in their music, but they can't let a brother try and help fix the community out here or make a profit off of doing so. So you already know what it is, man. I appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Hey, y'all, don't forget these super teen gremlins are demon time.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take all
What
your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
What?
You're not my dad! You also want to hear something! Ugly ass fucking...
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.